bringing your team back, bringing Acura back. How does it feel to actually be here, first week of school, fighting with the other teams? How does it feel?
Well, I can tell you that the day we left the series was certainly disappointing because it's a lot of fun to race. The competition is obviously, very competitive, and to be able to put this program together, which we worked hard on for a number of years, and the Acura team came to us and said, would we be interested in going, back in the series? And of course, we couldn't say yes fast enough. And Tim Cindric and the team really put together a program. We also integrated our Indy program with Juan stepping down and then Elio coming on and will run Indy for us. So there was some real planning in this, and this gave us really an outlet to have some great drivers that have performed for us in the past step in here, and then the opportunity to get Dane Cameron and Ricky Taylor just made it perfect from the driver's standpoint. And then with us reducing on the Indy cars from 4 to 3, we're able to take some of that expertise. Jonathan Duguid and some of our key guys came over to this program. So I think there's been a lot of thinking on it. We're very excited the way Acura is dealing with us, working with us. It's very transparent. And we've been with them before on the IndyCar side, so it was really a new relationship and people that we knew. So for me, we love long distance racing, and I think that probably when I was driving, the most fun was driving at Sebring and places like that.
Wow.
So I remember driving a Ferrari here in the 250, but that was a long time ago. But to me, it's going to be great. A lot of cars. Like you said, we have 50 cars on the grid and 20 or 21 or 22 prototypes. It's going to be a race, I think, for 24 hours.
So we just finished this somewhat unique, quote, qualifying session here during the Roar. We saw the Cadillacs were 1, 2, 3, 4, but it was also pleasant to see the Acuras not too far behind. I know this is a test, getting ready for the real test here, the real race. What's your feeling? What are your thoughts on the performance so far that we've seen from the ARX-05 and just your unit as a whole?
Well, as you know, we were here 2 or 3 weeks ago and ran, and between that time when we came here, they've added some additional drag on our car, which has slowed us down probably 3 or 4 miles an hour. And when you look at the delta between the Cadillacs and the rest of the field, even with our car being fifth, it's about 5 miles an hour. So we think that IMSA, if they're doing their job, will look at this and do they give people like ourselves and the other cars, Ligier, Orcas, etc., Mazdas and Nissans, a little more speed on the straightaway, or do they pull the Cadillacs back? But to me, this is a training session. IMSA's got a tough job because I don't want to come here and race and it's always some sort of a arithmetic test for us. I want to be able to race, and hopefully that's what we're going to be able to do.
I guess last quick question on that topic. So the balance of performance side, for those who might want to be lawyers or future politicians, there's some politicking that tends to go on between this test and the race. Is that something you leave up to Tim if necessary, or do you enjoy getting in there and, saying, hey guys, come on?
No, I think it's really up to Acura. I mean, we'll feed them with the information. My understanding is that we provide a report of our findings during this test. We provide it to the sanctioning body. All the teams do, and then it's transparent across the whole field.
Nice.
And they take that information and come up with whatever the final configurations will be for the race, which to me is I think very transparent. We'll see what it comes up with. Maybe I'll have a little different feeling about the fairness a couple of weeks from now.
Last question for you, Roger. So having seen the unveiling of the Porsche RS Spyder program at Laguna in 2005, watched that dominate and win everything, golden era for the American Le Mans Series during the duration of that program. What do you think of when you look at this modern day version of IMSA going into 2018? Having seen your program in the ALMS and knowing its glory, there's a part of me that thinks you might be looking at this saying, wow, this feels similar. Does it?
Oh, there's no question. I think there's more competition. In those days, the Audis were so strong. We were running LMP2. You had the LMP1 cars, so there was a lot of different configurations. To me, what they've been able to put together here, I take my hat off to Scott Atherton, and hopefully this is going to be a precursor for us maybe to go to Le Mans maybe in 2020, because once they see the number of cars, the number of manufacturers, and the costs associated with it, which are minimal compared to what we've seen at Le Mans in the past.
And quality
maybe
too.
There'll be some hybrids or things like that they'll throw in, but to me, I feel like we're right back in the same business and with a lot more competition. And I can tell you the interest of the fans, and to see 3,000 kids here this weekend, Boys and Girl Scouts down here with their just tongues hanging out, is just terrific.
Penske at Le Mans. I like that. I think we need to start a little groundswell to get our friends in France to realize that there's some value here to open up that door.
Well, I've got a French driver, don't I, with Pagenaud, so you need that.
You were thinking ahead, RP, weren't you?
Yeah.
You got a lobbyist already.
So we'll get him to do the work for us. No, it'll be interesting, but that's a number of years ahead. But I think this is a precursor to that, and with the opportunity to compete, in these long distance races, which we love. It's like the Indy 500, because you can get behind, you can catch up, and you can lead and you can win. I think that's the same thing here. Reliability, good teamwork. You've got to have zero defects from the standpoint of your pit stops, and to me, that's what makes it fun. And I know that the success that a lot of these teams have had, Taylor and the rest of these guys have done a terrific job. And for us, we just want to be part of the group here. We want to be able to compete at the top level.